just amazing hearing about, you persevering through, a very tough time
Mhm.
with your father. And to have the outcome like that is, to me, it's a testament of, in our faith, why I believe it's so important to continue trusting in Jesus and the talents that he's given you, because even through the trials, it's amazing when he shows up and how he shows up. And I think that football game that you had right after your dad passed is a perfect example. And so, one of the questions I have for you, Brett, is just in general, what did you learn or what did you take from when it came to facing pressure constantly every week, challenges, even naysayers? How did you what were some of the things you did to build yourself up? What were some of the things that you did to kind of play through that or work through that? And how did you encourage your teammates around you? Around you.
Well, encouraging my teammates was the easy thing. I no one, and I think people, whether you like me or not, or pulled for me or didn't, I don't think you could ever say that guy doesn't enjoy playing.
Very true.
I just don't
Yeah.
think you could say that. I love to play the game, and I more than that, I loved celebrating with my teammates. I didn't have to throw every touchdown pass or run one in or be the star. I enjoyed celebrating when someone else did well. So that was the easy part. What I did, I think, and some of this was consciously, but more of it was subconsciously. I challenged myself all the time. Like, for example, when I would go back for the next season, usually sometime in July for start of training camp, I would always, I played 16 years in Green Bay. I was with Atlanta first, was traded after that first year, went to Green Bay. And so I was there, 16 years is a long time. So as I kind of uh, became a starter and kind of entrenched myself as the guy, it would be easy. And I would see it with other guys all the time, whether they were teammates, whether it was opponents. When they started having success, some would thrive, some would not thrive. And I think a lot of the times when you don't thrive after success is because you kind of forgot what got you there to begin with.
That's
Wow.
And
good.
so for me, I would challenge myself when I would go back to the start of training camp. I'm the starter. I'm the guy. Um, all the attention was on me, right or wrong. That's the way it was. But I would say to myself, you got to perform in practice like you've never performed before, because there's always someone ready to take your spot. And all you need to do is give them or people watching a little bit of daylight to create that. Oh, that guy right there, he's a good player. Brett. We got Brett. All that, but and so I would always challenge myself to be the best in every practice, and I competed that way in practice. I never went into a practice and said I could just be average today
Mm.
because
Yeah. Wow.
That's a
I
word. It's
and I
good.
think that was one of the keys to my success is that I was always challenging myself, even probably even more so. Like I had 3 MVPs in a row.
Yep. Yep.
That wasn't enough. I felt like, and I would challenge myself. You can do better. You can do better. You got to do better because they're always looking to take your job. And in some respects, that is true.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody is replaceable, uh, and we see that from time to time. Uh, Someone has success, and then you go, "Whatever happened to that guy?" So that was the key to my success was being able to challenge myself. And as far as like the adversity part of it, obviously not every game was perfect. Not every game was a win. Not every game was we may have won, but I didn't play very well. But I think more than that, from a faith perspective, I think the misconception, and I was one of these people who was misconceived at one point. I thought when you were a Christian that you were immune to adversity. Now, that's
Wow.
laughable now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are like, that ain't the case. I know that as well. But I think as an immature Christian, I was deceived that, once I, accept Jesus as my Lord and Savior, everything's going to be hunky dory. It's going to be cool. And it's maybe the total opposite. You're faced with more adversity. And then why me? What's the deal, God? But then you learn a lot of things, not only of yourself, but I think of faith
Mm-hmm.
through these trials and tribulations. I think about, and I've talked about my demons over the years, my addiction, and I remember the week that my brother-in-law was killed on our property in an ATV accident, and the next day Deanna was diagnosed with a very aggressive form of breast cancer. And I was in the peak of my career. Deanna was 32, 33, something like that. She was in tremendous shape, was beautiful as always. And I remember in my quiet time saying, what did we do, God? I mean, where did we go wrong? Why us? It can't happen to us. All the things that other people who have faced that type of adversity have said.
Mm-hmm.
But you come through it, and you learn strength through it all. And it's not to say life isn't hard. It's hard on everyone. And we're all faced with adversity. I don't care who you are. And I tell people this all the time. I don't care if you're the brightest star in Hollywood. You probably face more hardships and adversity than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The top player in the league. It's just the way life is. And God is a sovereign God, and He loves us. But if He fixed every single thing for everybody, the same thing with our parents? How would we ever know how to live and live on our own?